This is the VI version of the ABCD song. And if you're from the Virgin Isles, why don't you sing along? Let's learn about our culture. Hey, IGC family. So we are back for day 2 of book launch week for V is for Virgin Islands. So today we are talking about the pages that didn't make the cut. So I just wanted to share some of these with y'all. You might have seen some of them dropping on Facebook already for the ones that didn't make the cut. So for book launch week for V is for Virgin Islands, if you didn't know, my book V is for Virgin Islands is available now on Amazon as an ebook and as a paperback. So you can go to Amazon and get it for a special price this week, the paperback version, for $7.99, and then next week it's going to go back to the regular price. So go on Amazon and get your book. The links will be included as well below the video. But today, for book launch week, we are talking about the pages that did not make the cut. So, for any one of you who are writers, if you are some writers out there, sorry, the book is sliding away. If you are a writer, you know a big part of the writing process is writing, rewriting, and editing, right? Even if it's a children's book. You have to think about the audience and the people who are going to be reading your book, especially if it's the parents. And then you have to make sure that it's appropriate and that the kids will understand everything that's in the book. So, I was telling you guys yesterday about one of the letters in the book, which was the letter P, which that was the first thing that came to my mind when I wrote this book. That was the first thing that I did for letter P. Take a look. So what do y'all think, right? That made sense. That made sense to me for letter P. If you grew up, especially in St. Thomas, I don't know if y'all have a lot in St. Croix and St. John, but especially in St. Thomas, look, they potholes all over the place. All over. So that's the first thing that came to my mind when I said the letter P. Potholes in paradise. And then of course I want to do the recognition in the book for the kids. So on the bottom I put pave them please. So I gave them 4 P's right there, right? I was like, man, I have to put this in a book. But you know what? I'm like, it's a children's book. We as adults gonna understand the potholes, like the potholes everywhere. Like your car getting mashed up, you paying like $500 after you done dropping a pothole in St. Thomas. It's look. So I had to rethink that. I'm like, children might not get it as much as we do because the kids ain't driving right and they don't have to pay for any repairs in any cars. So I'm like, man, I really wanted to put it in there, but I had to take it out. And I came up with something else. So if you got the book, you know P is not for potholes in paradise. P is for something else. So once you get to that one, you'll see what I use for P instead. But if you got the book, whenever you get your book, I want you to come back and comment and tell me whether or not you prefer the P that's in the book or if I should have went with potholes in paradise, right? Because we know what it is, right? So another page that did not make the cut in the book was the letter D. And I'll share it with you guys and then we'll talk about it, right? So go ahead and take a look at what I had originally planned for letter D. Right? So what do y'all think? I had that originally for letter D, dumb bread, because you know, I don't know about y'all, but I like me a good dumb bread, especially some dumb bread with cheese. My aunt Mary used to hook us up with some dumb bread and cheese. Y'all know, if you used to be in housing, especially close to the court, she used to be selling her dumb bread and cheese on Sundays. My son, I could slam a good dumb bread and cheese. And I wanted to include the dumb bread and cheese because that was a staple for us when we were growing up. I could slam some dumb bread and cheese, but I was like, I don't know. And I wanted to get a good picture of a dumb bread, and I don't know how to make dumb bread. And you have is a draw is a take or draw when you go by. I don't know if you in Georgia, but if you go by Thomas Bakery here, sometimes they don't have much of anything. So I wanted to take a chance and go up, drive all the way up there, and then they didn't have what I needed. So I'm like, let's skip the dumb bread and cheese. Plus, I was like, you know what? Because this is book 1 in the series, and book 3 when it's coming, and I don't even know, it still might not be done bread. But when book 3 comes out, I want to do a lot of the flavors of the Virgin Islands, so dumb bread just might end up over there. But for right now, I just took it out of this book and I put in something else for D, but I really wanted to use that one for D. So that was the page that did not make the cut. So one more page I'm going to talk about that did not make the cut for this version was, I gotta look down because I can't remember. Oh, F. So F, and there's a lot of F places in St. Thomas. I know y'all know Frenchman's Beef. Remember Frenchman's Beef?
Frenchman's Bay, Frenchman's Cove, Frenchman's Reef, like all of these F places, right? So I'm like, why in the world? Because I had to do a little history digging while I was doing the stuff for the book, and when I dig it up, I'm like, why do we have all this French stuff? Like, why? Because there's not a lot of French people in. No, not that they're not a lot. Let me back. Let me back it all up. There are a lot of French people in the Virgin Islands, but I'm like, but we weren't discovered by no French people. Like, why is it have all these places that are Frenchmen's this and Frenchmen's that? So that's why I had the page as that, because I had looked up some stuff and I'm like, uh, why ain't Spanish Town? Like, why is it not Spanish man's refund, Spanish man's tongue, and Spanish man's whatever? Because we were founded by, not we were founded, a Spanish voyage is what discovered us, right? Because we were named like Las Islas de Virgenes, whatever Christopher Columbus decided when he discovered us. That's what he called us because of the Spanish. So that's why I'm like, why ain't got Spanish this and Spanish that? So this is the pages that did not make the cut in the book. So that's what I originally had for F, but I'm like, uh, there's a lot of there we do have a lot of history with the French mans. If you go on, I think it's a French heritage site for the Virgin Islands, there's a lot of history about how the French got to the Virgin Islands, and a lot of that gonna be in book 2. So that's why I like I might cut this out now, but I'm gonna come back to it in book 2, because book 2 is a lot more about the history of the Virgin Islands. So this one is a lot more about cultural things and things that we grew up with, and book 2, when I'm coming out with it, is gonna talk about more of the history. So you might see more about how the French came to be in the Virgin Islands in my second book, but we're not talking about the second book right now. We're talking about book 1. So those are the pages that did not make the cut. So I talked about P, potholes in paradise, pave them please. I talked about D for dumb bread and cheese, and I wanted to have a good picture of dumb bread, and then I'm like, nah, let's just save it for the flavors book. And then I talked about F for Frenchman's Bay Cove Reef, that just didn't make the cut. So watch at the end of this video, because I'm gonna share with you some more pages that did not make the cut at the end of this video. And then you've seen some probably already posted on my Facebook or my Instagram, some of the other pages that did not make the cut. Tell me if you think they should have made the cut. If you see some of them, like, did you think that I should have put them in instead of what's in the book now? So let me know in the comments what y'all think. So don't forget, you can go ahead, it's available now. V is for Virgin Islands on Amazon. Just look it up, V's for Virgin Islands, and it should pop up right away as an ebook or as a paperback. It's available now, and I will be dropping a new video every day this week talking about V is for Virgin Islands. So don't forget to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about going more into the guide that comes with V is for Virgin Islands that you get for free, the free companion guide. Just go to my website, islandgirlchronicles.com, and download your copy of the free companion guide. Tomorrow we're going to actually dig a little more deeper into this, so you can see why I'm saying the book is not just for you to read to your kid and throw it to the side, right? It's an entire experience that I want you to have with your child as you're reading this book. I want you to immerse them into this culture that you grew up in, even though they're not from there. If your kids are born in the States like mine's and they've not really been to the Virgin Islands, like my kids have not been to the Virgin Islands. This year will be the first year that my kids have been to the Virgin Islands, and I'm not even gonna get into that, but this will be the first year my kids have seen the Virgin Islands, and they're too young to understand it. So that's kind of, I'm getting into day 4, right? But that's part of the reason why I did this book, because I want my kids to still be immersed in the Virgin Islands culture, whether or not they are growing up there. So I'm gonna talk about that more on day 4, because I could get into it now and we'll be here for another hour, so we're not going to talk about it today. So don't forget to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is day 3, and tomorrow we're going to be talking about the free companion guide that comes with the book. So if you've already ordered the book, do not forget to go to my website and download the free companion guide. And I don't ask you any trick questions or anything. I don't ask you whether or not to prove that you purchased the book. Just go to the website and click on the tab that says V is for Virgin Islands, and I'll include a link below to make it even easier for you. Go to my website and get your download, your free download that comes with the book. So all you have to do is confirm your email address and confirm that I can email you stuff, and you'll get the download, because I can't send you something by just jumping in your email, right? You have to confirm that I have permission to send you something in your email, and then you'll get it. But you don't have to like show me proof that you purchased the book or anything to download the free companion guide. So do not forget to grab your free companion guide, because it's going to make reading the book with your child a lot more fun, a lot more educational, and it's an entire experience. And that's what I want you to have when you're reading Via Virgin Knowledge with your kids, your child, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, whoever it is that you're reading the book with. I want you to have the entire experience. It's not just about reading the book and then setting it aside, right? We're not going to do that. We're not going to, well, for those of you who probably don't have kids and you just want to read the book, you can get the ebook and read it on your phone, your tablet, or whatever. But for those of you who have kids, I need you to get the hard copy and not shove one of these in your kid's face. I need you to get the real copy of the book so that you can sit down and have that entire experience with your child. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'll be back tomorrow for day 3. So tomorrow we're talking about and going into more detail on the companion guide that comes with the book. Okay? Alright guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow, lunchtime. Don't forget, grab your lunch and then come take a seat with the Island Girl. We're going to talk about what's going on in the companion guide. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, alright? Alright, IGC family.
This is the VI version of the ABCD song. And if you're from the Virgin Isles, why don't you sing along? Let's learn about our cultural history, then pass it to your kin. Let's teach the youths our heritage, for that's where life begins. This is the VI version of the ABCD song. And if you're from the Virgin Isles, why don't you sing along? Let's learn about our cultural history, then pass it to your kin. Let's teach the youths our heritage.